Hi Firsties, welcome back. So we are on week 4, day 1 today. So we're still working with adding tens and ones, but today is going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but also a review. So stick with me, we're going to hop right into it. So like I said, we're going to be adding ones. Let me fix this. Okay, we're going to be adding ones and tens today. So we're going to start with this problem, 24 plus 6. Now on Seesaw last week, I was starting to see that a lot of you were still drawing tens and ones, which is totally fine, but the challenge I want for this week is I want you to not draw tens and ones to solve the whole problem. It's okay if for a little number you need to draw tens and ones to solve that part, but overall I want us to use actual numbers now to add. We're gonna move from pictures to numbers, and I think you're gonna really enjoy how much quicker you're able to solve because now you know what those numbers really look like, okay? So for this one, we're gonna be doing 24 plus 6. Now I'm gonna show you exactly how I would want you to solve this problem. So make sure you have your paper and pencil so that you can work alongside Mrs. Gordon and solve right with me. Okay, so if you need a pause, press that space bar. Okay, if you're back, press that space bar and you're with me? Okay. So we have the number 24 plus 6. So with 24, I'm going to break this into a number bond here. Okay, so always step 1, number bond. Okay, so I'm going to break these up by the values, just like you did last week. So starting with the 2, how much is that 2 really worth in the tens place? It's worth 20. So 2 is worth 20. How many ones do I have in 24? I have 4 ones. So that means when Mrs. Gordon adds 20 plus 4, I get 24 here. So just like we did last week, we're going to start by adding all of our ones together. So we had 4 ones in 24, and we have 6 additional ones that we are adding on. So that means Mrs. Gordon's first problem is 4 plus 6. This is what I'm looking for in your work. I don't want to see tens and ones to solve the whole thing. I want to see real numbers, okay? Because we're moving on. So my first problem, when I added 4 plus 6, all my ones, I get an answer of 10, right? Because 4 plus 6 is one we should know right off the bat. So now that Mrs. Gordon has added all of the ones together, I'm now going to take my tens. So I had 2 tens, which means 2 tens equals 20. So I'm going to take 20 and add my total amount of tens to the digit. So that means 20 plus 10 is what, when we add those together, we'll get our final answer. So 20 plus 10, we should be able to do that. Quick math. 20 plus 10 is 30. Now, if you wanted to draw a picture for that part, the 20 plus 10, so 2 tens plus another 10, I'm okay if you draw a picture right there to solve, but I should not see a picture for the whole entire problem. I want to see actual numbers so that I can tell you're able to solve mentally, okay? Because that's a really important skill, especially as you're an adult, that we're going to start practicing right now. How crazy is that? So 20 plus 10 is 30, so that means 24 plus 6 equals 30. How cool. So, moving on here, we're going to be doing 14 plus 9. So Mrs. Gordon forgot to write out her steps. That's okay. So step 1 was number bond. Step 2 is show your work with numbers. And step 3 is solve. So using those steps there, I want to do this problem kind of together, and then the last problem I'm going to have you do completely on your own. So let's start working on this one together. Okay, what is step number 1 here? Looking at Mrs. Gordon's paper. Step 1 is number bond. So the first thing you need to do is draw your number bond right there. So you're going to break up 14. How should Mrs. Gordon break up 14? Should I start with my tens or should I start with my ones? For my number bond, I'm going to start with my tens place. How many tens does Mrs. Gordon have? I just have 1 10, so that means that it is only worth 10. How many ones does Mrs. Gordon have in 14? I have 4 ones, so that means 10 plus 4 gives me 14. Okay, I did step 1. Step 2 is to show my work with numbers just like we did in that first problem. So I'm going to let you have about a couple minutes, so 2 minutes, to go ahead and solve the rest. I got you started, so you should be able to finish it. Remember, we're using numbers, not pictures, for as much as we can. All right, go ahead. All right, guys, Mrs. Gordon's gonna come back, help you out. If you need a few seconds, that's totally okay. Press that space bar to pause this video, and then press that space bar to come back. All right, so where I left you at was you had your number bond, and then you were on step 2, which was to show your work, and then solve, which was the final step. Okay, let's jump right to it. Step 2, show your work with numbers. So we start by adding all of our ones together. So in 14, we had 4 ones, and we were adding 9 more ones to it. So let's start with that first problem here, 4 plus 9. Okay, what did you get for an answer when you had 4 plus 9? Right, 4 plus 9 is 13. Now for solving this problem, Mrs. Gordon totally understands drawing out your ones because this is a little bit tricky to know right in your head. So let's draw some ones so that you're able to see, okay? So I had 4 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna count on 9 more, ready? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that is another way you could show your ones to solve this problem. So 4 plus 9 is 13. Now, are we done yet? Did we solve this problem of 14 plus 9? No, we didn't solve it because we still have to add our tens in. Okay, so that means I'm going to take my value of my tens here, which if I have 1 10, it's just worth 10. And then I'm going to add the total number of ones to it. So the total amount was 13. So now I have a new problem that's 10 plus 13. Interesting. If I have the number 13 and I count on 10 more, what did you get as an answer? You should have gotten 23. Okay? For that, I'm totally fine if you draw a picture for it. It's just we're not drawing a picture for the whole thing. I want to see numbers. So 14 plus 9 is 23. Okay, for the sake of time, we're going to do this next one together. So step 1, is to draw a number bond. So we have 31 plus 10, so I'm gonna break up 31 into some more friendly numbers. So looking at my tens place, what is the value of the 3 and 31? Right, that 3 is actually worth 30. And how much is that 1 worth right there? It's just worth 1. So that means 30 plus 1 equals 31. Okay, step 2, I'm going to show my work with numbers. So I'm going to start by adding my total amount of ones. So I had 1, and then I had 10 additional ones that were getting added. So that means I'm adding together 1 plus 10. This one's pretty easy peasy. If you have 10 and you add on just 1 more to it, what's your answer? 11, right? So 1 plus 10 equals 11. So I did my ones. Now I need to add my total amount of tens, the value, which was 30. So I'm going to take 30 and add that on to the total amount of ones, which was 11. So 30 plus 11. That's a little bit tricky. I'm going to draw a picture for this one. So for 30, that means I have 3 tens. So I'm going to draw out 3 tens. And for 11, how many tens does 11 have? It has 1 10. How many ones does 11 have? Just 1. Oh, see my picture there? That's interesting. Let's count that up. 10, 20, 30, 40, 1. So 30 plus 11 is 41. So that means 31 plus 10 is 41. Awesome job, my friends. So when you see your seesaw assignment today, here's the challenge. We're not using pictures unless it's for certain parts of our problems here. Mrs. Gordon should see lots of numbers being added together because we're working on building our mental math skills. All right, thank you so much for joining me for the first day. I hope you have a fantastic day and a wonderful week. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.